So Capt. Nitin Dhond is a distinguished alumnus of TS Rajendra in the batch of 1977-78 and had a remarkable career spanning 45 years in sea service, with 30 years in command on various vessels including oil tankers, VLGCs and passenger vehicles. We might be having many seafarers also in this group because this band is actually really known for this profession. His professional journey, apart from his educational accomplishment, it's a testament to his leadership and innovation in the maritime sector. He played a pivotal role in establishing the competence of Indian seafarers to operate LPG vessels, gaining international recognition. From 1991 to 2016, he trained and mentored hundreds of officers and masters, leading India's first VLGC operations under European fleet coastal charters. His innovative solutions, such as simulation software for co-mingling butane and propane and recommissioning of the largest VLGC, underscored his technical expertise and problem solving. In 2018, back home, Captain Dhond launched India's first domestic cruise, Anglia. Many of you must have heard this, setting a precedent for the country's cruise industry. During COVID-19 crisis, Anglia served as a crucial sea bubble in Goa, Sri Lanka, assisting in the evacuation of seafarers. His leadership also saw the establishment of India's first floating passenger terminal and the design of the first domestic cruise terminal in Mumbai. That was about his professions. Captain Dhond's contributions extend beyond the maritime industry to sustainable initiatives. This is about ecotourism initiatives which he formed. In 2001, he founded India's first and largest private wildlife sanctuary, rescuing land from miners and anti-forest monoculture. The Wilderness Eco Resort, established in 2004, some of you might have been there also. Promotes ecotourism and wildlife conservation. The Mhadei Research Center, founded in 2010, has spearheaded conservation and research initiatives across Karnataka, Maharashtra, and Goa. His innovative spirit led to the development of India's first indigenous funicular system, promoting eco-friendly mountain connectivity. This is also very interesting. This system, patented by Capt. Dhond, avoids the destruction of mountain slopes and forests, providing an economical and sustainable transportation solution. Capt. Dhond's contributions have been recognized with numerous awards, including the Kokan Ratna for ecotourism, the Kusti Bhushan for pioneering the Indian cruise industry, the Samudra Manthan Award, and the Excellence Award by Trans-Asian Chamber of Commerce. So Capt. Dhond, with all these achievements, is a very down-to-earth personality. We have a very close personal ties with Capt. Dhond for several years, and he is the same Nithin Dhond which we have seen for several years. Now, what made him come here is his love for the nature, love for the survival of the whole ecosystem of Western Ghats. And many times we are only worried about what will happen to Mhadei if Karnataka takes away water. And we are not having much information about all these things. But his presentation, with the support of solid research, which inside, but we do not discuss all that, is going to be an eye-opener for us.
This is not broccoli. This is a photograph, aerial photograph taken by our Colonel Saini, who was a part of our team who flew over the Bhimgad Wildlife Sanctuary. That time it was not a wildlife sanctuary, it was only a forest. So, and he flew over this forest and he realized it's so dense. And also when these photographs were taken, he realized there is a damage which is happening to this forest and we had to act. And we set up a movement to form this forest as a wildlife sanctuary. So we start from this picture. This is a picture where the 3 dams which Karnataka government is proposing to build are going to come. A dense biodiverse evergreen forest in between Maharashtra and Karnataka. On the eastern side of Goa, what we call is the Western Ghats. Yes. We have to look at this problem as a clear and evident danger of global warming in which state we are in today. This forest is responsible for absorbing all the carbon dioxide that we create. Carbon dioxide is a gas which is warming up this earth. And only this thing we have right now, sink of carbon dioxide is this forest. So the first step when they build up this tree dam, they are going to damage the forest which actually absorbs carbon dioxide and is cooling the earth when the other forces are warming it up. Yes. The same forest creates this waterfall. This waterfall, you all must be knowing, is called a Niagara Fall. It's a very prominent and one of the most loved waterfall of Goa after Kutsana. Now there is a saying, or there are people who are trying to spread an opinion in Karnataka that river water goes west to sea. Now river goes west, W-E-S-T, to sea, but it doesn't go W-A-S-T, west to sea. River plays a very vital role in the sense all the nutrients which are formed in the forest that we saw, dead animals, excreta of animals, dead leaves, trees, fruits, all nutrients, even the crushed mountain rushes down to sea in the west flowing river through Goa to Arabian Sea. Now these nutrients are very important to fertilize the ocean. They are the ones who go fertilize the ocean. They are nutrients for the ocean. And these nutrients form something which is as a marine algae. So marine algae now kickstarts the marine flora and fauna. You have phytoplanktons, you have microbial activity in that, then you have small krill with the small shrimps, small crabs, and then it goes to mackerels, and then you have our squid, and then you go to tuna, and then you go to big shark and whales and dolphins. So whole living system is created here in the forest, and who takes it to the sea is the river. So river doesn't go west to sea; it has to go to the sea to give us the fish. It is very important in the sense of Goa and the East Coast. It is very important to note that Goa has got 20 more varieties of fish. I am talking about edible varieties of fish than what we find on the East Coast. And that is only because the west flowing rivers carry the nutrient. The east flowing river, like Malaprabha, which starts within little distance of Mhadei, where it originates. Mhadei goes west and Malaprabha goes east. But when she goes east, she passes through meandering ways through the Indian peninsula to meet and go to Bay of Bengal. But by that time, all the nutrients of that river have been utilized, and the people in Karnataka, down in Andhra Pradesh, till the time to go to Bay of Bengal, survive on that river. So, it is very important to let the river go to the sea. Next. Now, this is the forest from where she comes, and this is what you see in the green opaque color is the algae form. It's a marine algae. Marine algae is 10 times more effective in absorbing carbon dioxide than the forest. If you take 1 kg of forest and if you take 1 kg of algae, the algae will absorb 10 times more oxygen. And this oxygen is again fixated in the bottom of the sea by way of shells, by way of corals, by way of dead fish, by way of infested animals going down to the bottom. And this is a permanent fixation because that may again surface of the millions of years. But what is absorbed by the forest is on the surface. Like Goa recently last year saw forest fires. Insane, this Chota region. Now the carbon dioxide was again released back by the forest fires. So with the global warming, there is one of the things where the rivers are drying very fast. The lakes are drying very fast, the forests are drying much earlier than they used to be, and there is a danger of forest fires. And the carbon dioxide can be released again by the forest. The carbon dioxide which is fixated by the marine algae is like a permanent fixation. And we have to let the river come to the sea to form this marine algae. This presentation, what I'm putting in front of you, is completely non-political. We are here without any politics. It has to be based on clear scientific reasons and the scientific documents which we have in hand today. We have Indian Institute of Science. It's a 130-year-old institute which has got a institute in Bangalore. One of the prime scientific institutes of India. They have done at least 3 to 4 decades of study in the basin of Malaprabha and Mhadei and Shapura and Ghataprabha. Every river has a contemporary. Like Shapura river in Goa is contemporary to Ghataprabha. Mhadei is contemporary to Malaprabha. So all these 4 basins are continuous forests, and what they say, this area is very vital and essential for a well-being of this region. So we will refer to this report. Then we have Ashoka Trust and Norwegian Institute. Both of them together carried out a study is what is happening to water allocation and water usage of Malaprabha, that the government wants to say that there is a shortage of water. So it's because of these 2 references to these 2 institutes, and then we come to IIT Mumbai. We are learned in school that trees bring water, and it rains because there are trees. It's a common fact which we always just believe from the time we have from the school we have come down to believe and continue to believe. But IIT Mumbai takes it down to say that 40% of the moisture which is given to the monsoon is given by a biodiverse forest of Western Ghats. They said biodiverse forest, they just don't say forest. It's a biodiverse forest which will do 40% moisture and the rains are created. It's very crucial when we have a low monsoon time. See, over a cycle where we have a La Nina and El Nino effect. When you have El Nino, you have big rain, when you have La Nina. So whenever you have the bad effect and the monsoon is weak, more moisture content to the monsoon is given by the Western Ghats. So they play a very crucial role. Now if you look at it, you have here, this you know where you are, right at the bottom of 2 states. This is Goa, this is Maharashtra, this is Karnataka. And here we see that one of the dams, this is called the Hatama Dam, is for the tributary of Mhadei, which moves through Maharashtra and then comes to join Mhadei to Goa. That is called a Hatama, and this is Kalsa Dam, which is a Kalkuti, which many people have seen. When you go to Belgaum, at Kalkuti, you have seen they have dug up so much and put tunnels. This is the location which is Kalsa, which originates in Karnataka, about 5 to 6 kilometers, and then enters Goa, and then joins Mhadei again somewhere at the Wagh level. And then you have again, this is Bandura, which comes down again joins the Wagh. So there are 3 dams which are proposed right now, and the DPR has been sanctioned. There are more 11 dams we wanted to construct in total. So we have to stop them at least because this is the first 3 dams they are looking at. The prima facie looks at an interstate problem. Like Maharashtra, Karnataka, Goa, there was a tribunal set up, tribunal decided, okay, you take this much water, that much water, depending upon whatever calculations they did. And now the case is in Supreme Court, and all the state states are fighting. And it has become a political issue, interstate issue, state chauvinism and coming, this is my water, this is your water. But the rivers started flowing before humans came on this earth. And today we are trying to divide them in contemporary boundaries which never existed. So rivers are like systems, the ecosystem is the life. And we can't divide them on the presence of present boundaries. So we have to look at it without any politics, without any religion, without any differences of languages, and without forgetting all our differences, we have to look at it, forgetting all these boundaries. And when we do that, this is what it looks. This is how what will happen now. Now there are no boundaries. This is Malaprabha River, which originates at Kalkuti, and slowly flows eastward. And there is a dam which is Navalpit here, which is about 100 kilometers away from here, near Hubli Dhamar. There the water collects and then goes to the Krishna River. And here we have Mhadei River, within 3 to 4 kilometers from the Malaprabha, and then flows down the mountains to the western Ghats and forms the Manduri, which we see at Kashmir. Same thing with Kalsa, which is again a tributary which comes down here, and this is the again Alkara, which goes to Maharashtra and comes back to Manduri. Now this river is being blocked and will be stopped by Karnataka. Only the boundary what we saw that from coming to first Winter Wildlife Sanctuary, then coming to Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary and the Reserve Forest of Maharashtra. From 1989 to 1999, 10 years, people of Goa and a lot of great activists, I would name them, Rajendra Capt, then you had a very apt forest officer, Richard D'Souza, then Caspita, Bombay Natural History Society, they all got together and decided that we have to save this forest from the anti-forest activities like mining, like monoculture and real estate. So they took them 10 years to create data, submit the data, argue many cases, fight against many lobbies to form. After 10 years, the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary was ultimately formed in 1999. What Karnataka is going to do? Stop the water coming to this particular wildlife sanctuary. So this wildlife sanctuary was formed with a one objective, and this is a river security and a water security. They don't say for Goa or Karnataka or Maharashtra. It says it's a water security for all the rivers flowing in this region and the river and the water. It's a water security for the region. At the same time, in 1994, we started a movement in Karnataka to form this diverted wildlife sanctuary. It's a contiguous zone. Now, it's a part of area that is protected in Goa. We wanted to protect the area in Maharashtra, in Karnataka, which was also crucially important in the same forest. But it took us 70 years. We started in 1994, and in 2011, we managed to get to convince the government, the state government and the central government, and this wildlife sanctuary was formed, which is about 190 square kilometers. Now this is about 220 plus 190 plus the range of acres of reserve forest we have been able to protect by formation of a wildlife sanctuary. It's a water security for the region. Yes. This excerpt is from Indian Institute of Science. This is the Western Ghats. When we were fighting for the wildlife sanctuary of Bengal, we decided that similar problem exists all over the Western Ghats. And 1,500 people started walking from here, 1,500 people started walking from here. They almost walked 1,000 kilometers and make it Goa. To understand that this is under threat. The whole Western Ghats is under threat. And that is how they said we must come back and do something. And the central government brought what we call it as a Gargi report, where it says save Western Ghats. That Gargi report was then diluted by Kashmir Jungle by 60% to benefit the users of forest or to allow people to exploit the forest. It was diluted by 60%. Even then it was not accepted. Till the time something happened in Wayanad, the land collapsed, people died, and this is what happened. And why happened? Why happened? Because you did not accept Kashmir Jungle, you did not ask a Gargi. They have been telling you don't disturb the Western Ghats. It is dangerous, it will cause landslides, river destructions, and it is the most crucial part which is important for India to preserve. It is not only India. If you look at the whole globe and you go west of India, you will come to Yemen, you will come to Dubai, you will come to Oman, and after Oman you will go to Saudi Arabia, here you will go to Egypt, and then you again go to the west, you will go to Morocco, then you will go to Libya, and then to Algeria, right from to the end of this into Atlantic Ocean. It's all desert. You pass Atlantic Ocean and you go into Mexico. Again, Mexico is the desert. So at all about the latitude of India around this, the earth is a desert. It's supposed to be a desert. But you just go from India. India is green. You go east of India, Malaysia is green. You go to Burma, Burma is green. You go to Cambodia, Vietnam, and you go up to China, you via Philippines. The way the western southwest monsoon winds, they came from here and run down the earth. Half the earth at India's latitude is kept green by the Western Ghats. It is one of the 10 hotspots of the world that they must be protected because we staying in the Western Ghats are responsible for half the world to be green. That's important and that's very, very simple thing to understand. But somehow the people who want to exploit and extract as much as possible from the Western Ghats, it's a very short-sighted approach. You just see the Western Ghats ends here and then what we have in Gujarat and Rajasthan, they are again deserts. It's very important that for whatever reasons we don't disturb Western Ghats. The Indian Institute of Science, after custodian also was not accepted, Indian Institute of Science gave an eco-sensitive zone 1, which is in the Western Ghats, which at no cost should be disturbed because that will cause a disaster situation. Then eco-sensitive zone 2 and then the eco-sensitive zone 3. So they said, please don't do anything here. And they gave a paper to the Karnataka government, this information. There are 3 dams that are constructing. This is Bandura Dam, what you see here. This is Kalsa Dam, this is Hattara. These are the 3 dam footprints which will come and fragment this eco-sensitive region, one forest. One is direct destruction of the forest, for construction of the dam, for putting the high-tension electrical cables. You have the asphalted road, you have the canals to carry the water, human intervention into this eco-electric road, and then you fragment the key spaces to go around. It's very important that you see black things which are moving from down in between. They are the villages which create from this region and go down. They are the ones which is eco-sensitive evergreen. The very little evergreen forest left in Western Ghats. There is no evergreen forest north of Goa. But this is the last part of the evergreen forest in which these dams will come up and destroy the evergreen forest here, where it should not be done. This is Ramrao district where we come from. This is the only evergreen forest left in Ramrao district. Let's not be damaged the other projects and whatever you say. This is the only one which is left in evergreen forest. And the winds come from this direction and cause rain for our Ramrao. It causes rain for this region which is Karapur, which is called as the Cherapuri of the south, very heavy rainfall area. And the projects are exactly coming in this region. And this is the ecological insight of Karnataka River Basin, Central Basin, as Karnataka and Goa by Indian Institute of Science over a study of last 30 years. The government doesn't want to follow this. This clear and ever given to the. So when I met with the scientists, they said we have done our bit. Now we have put it in an open forum. So these are all now common open documents which we have to use and tell government, please, we know what we are doing, we are cheating. Don't do this in an eco-sensitive region 1, which is our livelihood. Our next generation requires the forest. Humans have to continue living. You can't destroy forest at the level where there will be no water left for the next generations. Yes. Now this is a simple diagram to understand what actually is happening. This is what we say is the contiguous forest of the 2 wildlife sanctuaries. Mhadei River is flowing nicely down the mountains into the plains, Kopa, this side, and Nithin, Old Goa, and to the sea. Very nice. This also comes. Unabridged, this has been flowing through centuries, keeping Goa a paradise as it is now. And I say that this is the dotted line. This dotted line is a mountain. This is the east side of the mountain, this is the west side of the mountain. So Mhadei River moves through this, keeps this wildlife sanctuary, this forest green, creates a lake in Kharagpur. 80% of the water which collects in this dam. This dam was constructed in 1972. 80% of the water which goes into this dam comes because there is a lake in Kharagpur. It doesn't rain here. It doesn't rain so much here. 80% water will come from here. And again, this final century causes rain for Goa. You will see the clouds come, then they saturate along the western Ghats, and as the saturation starts, it starts raining in Goa. Goa cools down, further winds come. So this is a crucial forest to cause rain for Goa, rain on itself, and rain on development. This is a nice picture, and this is how we have been living. Something happened in 1972. They constructed a dam here, which is called a novel thing, and this water is called a Prasadam. It's a huge. Now, what normally happens is everybody plans for a dam, and it has happened with all irrigation dam or all projects. You make a project, and you take a data what happened before the dam was constructed. You construct the dam, you cut the trees, you cut the forest, then you stop the water. The trees get suffered. The biodiverse forest in the Kashmir area and this complete area is finished. The rainfall here decreases because there are no trees now. There is a hot reservoir reflecting the heat. No odor of clouds. And now, when this happens, they say we wanted the land to be filled up, now the land is not filling up. It is not going to fill up because you are destroyed. It's a story with each dam which has happened right from Bhakra down to our Navadvip. Second thing is when you construct a dam, you are supposed to maintain all the forests along this river in a good shape. If you don't do it, like if you cut it and you start planting acacia, you start planting eucalyptus, you start planting palms for palm oil, which are not crops here. And you destroy the biodiverse forest, you destroy the land, the water which is coming directly from the sky, where you saw the broccoli-like forest, you stop it. And slowly they will percolate into the ground. And they will charge the ground. Now these trees what they have destroyed here, in this basin, for the paper mills, or whatever industries, that has silted. It has turned into a mud, got into this river, got here, and these dams now silted 40%. A dam, after it is constructed, in the best of the condition, the siltation will happen at 0.5%. So this dam is silted. It's not a permanent solution that we will have a dam. We have to keep desilting. Now the stage comes, I think the dam is concerned, they have a huge amount of surface water available. The objective of this dam was to give water for the traditional crops. They had maca, they had sunflower, they used to have ragi, they used to have jowar, bajri. They forgot all that and they immediately went into cash crop of sugarcane. We started planting sugarcane. The dam was also made for drinking water. They also have industries which are water guzzling industries. They have soft drink factories which consume lakhs of liters a day. And still the government says we don't have drinking water. So the situation started deteriorating since then. To give you an account, in last 10 years, when they were saying we want drinking water, initially they wanted irrigation water, but slowly, smartly they shifted the focus and they started trying to we want drinking water. Why do you want drinking water when you have sugarcane plantation which double it became 2.5 times from 32,000 hectares it has gone to more than 1 lakh hectares in last 10 years. And you say you don't have water. You have. This is a pilot of the. But you see white patches, it is not very clear. This is a clear proof that they have 9 sugar factories working in Malaprabha basin where they say there is a shortage of water, drinking water. And you are giving water to sugar factories. One of the ministers just bought a 10 sugar factory approved and it is under construction. And you have tripled 2.5 times your increase sugarcane plantation. What is the need of drinking water? You know, she made a statement that I am running my factory on a borewell. Borewell is like a killing the river at its surface level. That is from where the river originates. You are killing that. But without all that, come back. The people here are demanding water who are already taking sugarcane. So these are the people who get irrigation. And the government goes and promises that we will get you water. So that irrespective of all political parties, they go there and tell the farmers, other than one politician they say कि आपके लिए मैं गोवा का पानी लेके आया हूँ। लोगों किधर गोवा का पानी? किसका पानी? And the farmers, but at the same time, the state has made a statement and getting clearances from the CWC, Central Water Commission, and all other clearances saying that it is a drinking water. Why are they saying drinking water when they have enough water? Because only when they say drinking water, they will get out of a control and regulations of forest, wildlife, ecological impact. All these things are bypassed. And then if you have just saying on water for irrigation, this water will not be allowed to. So systematically now government is cheating, hiding data. They are simply hiding data like saying that in 10 kilometers of this dam, there is no wildlife sanctuary, there is no tiger corridor, there is no elephant corridor. Actually, the wildlife sanctuary is within 2 kilometers of this dam, there is no wildlife sanctuary. Given on their records. But government makes a statement. Nobody questions it. Central Water Commission did not question them are using about drinking water. You know so many sugar factories are come and they want 9 other sugar factories are under approval. And what they get when they say drinking water is the lake. So they will construct this dam. The water coming from here, now normally we have dam, we have Saravali dam, we have Kiri dam. You stop water in one direction and over a period you release the direction of the river. You don't take it back. These dams are not like that. They do not allow water to flow into the wildlife sanctuary of towards Goa. They will block it here and divert it into Malaprabha and take the road. Again, the Kalsa which is coming from here, they will block it here and they have already put this tunnel. This tunnel, they have done 110 feet, 120 feet below ground, already put a huge tunnel of this side, half of this. And they are already diverting water by gravity. Only when government was alarmed, Goa government has come and blocked them and then it is temporarily plugged. So the diversion of river, they do not allow the water coming into the wildlife sanctuary. And who will not be able to stop them or how they are avoiding the forest clearances, I'll show you a video form. Because they are saying drinking water, all these things, wildlife, migratory birds, sanctuary, or this, but then after environmental impact assessment not required because of me. So without doing any of this illegally, now when the government starts cheating, the people have to wake up. The thing we gentlemanly fought, we have been fighting against this project since 1989, 36 years now, we are saying that we gentlemanly told people, look at this, what habitat good, is it good for anyone? We inform Goa government, we inform Maharashtra government, we inform Karnataka government, we have gone to all these governments. The tribunal in 2014 came to Belgaum and they didn't allow us to meet them. We stood outside where the tribunal meeting was going on and we said we want to be in. When we did not, on the third day, we charged inside breaking the police guards and we walked inside at the justice. He said, you are not supposed to be here. I said, yes, but we want to make a statement. And he said, we cannot hear you. And at that time, he said, we are already here, now we got to listen. So he made a provision to speak. We will hear, but that will not come on record. What we said is, forget about this. You have to understand that the root is going to damage the environment. But we were not allowed to participate in any decisions of the tribunal. We are not allowed to participate in the Supreme Court case which is going on in the 3rd. Then what we can do is we have to raise our voice and tell all the governments, I'm not taking one government, whichever political party, whichever religion, whichever language, whatever creed, we forget all the difference. And we tell the government that we know how you are cheating, and you are cheating against the nature. This is not between the state, it is a fight between some wrong people trying to do some wrong thing to the nature, and we will stop it. So, irrespective of what I have come here and you have come, thank you very much, you have come to hear this, that unless we stand together, we let more and more people know. So you are 100 people here, you talk to 100 more people, it will be 10,000. Those people, it has to go as a chain reaction. Many of you will be sharing the presentation, which can be shown to other people, school, children, who we have to create this now as a people's movement. Otherwise, the governments will cheat us, cheat the nature, and lead us towards the disaster. In Belgaum, we are targeted, we have been threatened. So even though we had this movement from 89, a lot of our people have been troubled. But now we said no, now there is no time for us to go any further and just be afraid of what they are going to do to us. So we got all the people together in Belgaum on the 3rd of June, and we had a massive rally. We had more than 2,500 people, the farmers, the workers, the people, educated people, businessmen, everybody came on the road. This is the first time I ever saw such a big rally. We stood up, and that is the first official opposition and then lodging the note of protest to the government that we do not want this project. We do not want to divert Mhadei. Similar kind of a thing now has to come from all the 3 states. We also going to do presentation in Maharashtra, and as this initiative, all must get together. And if we don't do, this is the disaster. Now, we are just talking about all the region. I want to come back and know what will actually happen to Goa. The Mhadei River is source of this mountain and comes from this mountain rapidly into this. You see here where it meets the sea. What it does is it keeps the dark blue salt water coming back into the river. So this river is maintaining water table of Goa, and even when you go to seashore of Goa, you will get fresh water because the hydraulic pressure of this river can lift the seawater away as flowing into the sea. This is basically what makes Goa green. Now, if they divert this, once they construct the dam, the direct reduction in flow from this tube and into the Mhadei River will reduce the salt water inside Goa. This effect will be very large difference right up to something. Next. The next phase, if this evergreen forest is destroyed, the rainfall here is rainfall in Goa will reduce. It will further get to Mhadei. Effect number 2. And the last is because of global warming, already sea levels are increasing. The salt water will be pushed inside more, and Goa will not remain what Goa is. So Goa has to take this issue very, very seriously. And I request all of you to talk to as many people as you can and let them know what Goa will be facing the next disaster. One point is how it will affect the Sal River. We are all from Sunset. Sal River area which comes from Vietnam, that forest, and that also is an extinct trade of the Western Ghats. The entire rain in Goa is totally dependent upon the Western Ghats. If it has to rain in Kerala, it is the forest of Kerala help, but the saturation has to take place from the Western Ghat, and the Western Ghat will decide how much it rains even in Sunset River and sea. So it is not only that Mhadei is in danger, but along with Mhadei, all the rivers in Goa will be in danger because of deficit of rain in their own basin. And it is very important that Sunset at this particular age, we are a lot of fishermen fishermen are mainly going to be affected with their catch. With this, I would like to thank our beloved Mhadei Silva, uh, close friend of mine, Ramrao Wagh, who I know for the last 30 years. And the Goa's Nature and Goa's Futures organization, aptly named organization. If you don't have nature, you don't have future. And thank you all of you for coming here to discuss the issue which is going to be the cleaner element area for Goa.